everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel The Engineering Survey. Today we are going to see how we are going to do centering, leveling and focusing of a theodolite. So I will show you step by step how to do it in a correct procedure. So first we'll take the tripod like this. So this is a wooden tripod and we extend one of the legs like this and again tie up the tightening screw, and we need to adjust this top surface of the tripod the level of our lower chest like this, and then adjust the screw. Then what we have to do is close all the other tightening screws like this and tie up them properly. Then this is the place where we are going to set up the theodolite. So first of all we need to spread the legs equally like this, and we need to ensure tripod head is just above the peg below. So we can look through this tripod head and see whether the peg is just above the tripod, and we have to go a little bit back and see whether this tripod head is approximately horizontal. If it is not, then we have to make it like this. We need to ensure this tripod head is approximately horizontal. Then after that, what we need to do is we need to fix one leg firmly to the ground, only one leg. So remember, when you are pressing one leg, you need to put all your body weight to the tripod shoe. So this part is known as tripod shoe, right? Because we need to settle down the tripod early. Otherwise, what will happen is when the load of the theodolite comes over the base plate, due to its self weight, this will settle little by little during the practical or the field work. So now we have pushed one leg firmly to the ground, and next step is we are going to fix the theodolite above the tripod head. So this is the theodolite we are going to use. And before we take out the theodolite from the box, we need to see how the theodolite was kept inside the box. That is one of the basics. So if we can't remember how it is inside the box, the best thing is to have a photograph before we take it out. Right. So now we have to carefully take it and keep it like this. And before we fix it above this tripod head, we need to ensure all these foot screws are at their mid-run. So there's a mark. If you carefully see, there's a horizontal mark there. So we have to take this top surface of the foot screw to the level of that mark. Here also we have to take it to the mid-run. And here it is already at the mid-run. Right. Now it's time to fix it over the tripod head. Right. The next thing is, when you are fixing it over the tripod head, one thing you need to remember, don't fix it like this. So this corner of this tri-brac has to come with this corner of the tripod head, right? Like this. And we should not fix it like this. So it should not come to the edge of the tripod base, right? It has to be centered like this. In every corner you have to ensure it is not at the edge of the tripod base like this. This is wrong, right? So we have to take it to the middle of the tripod head. So once we ensure this distance is equal from all the sides, then we can fix it using this tightening screw. Right. So now we have fixed the theodolite over the tripod. The next thing is, now we have fixed one leg only. Remember, these two legs, we haven't pushed them to the ground, right? So next thing is, we need to do the centering. Centering means we have to fix this theodolite exactly above this peg. So this is the technique we are going to follow. So we know that one leg is already pushed. Therefore, now we can use these two other legs for the centering process. So I have already introduced the parts of the theodolite in one of my previous videos. So you know that this is called the optical plummet, right? When you look through this optical plummet, you can see the peg on the ground, right? So first thing is, before we see the peg, if you have a white paper, you can keep it below this plumb line, and you need to clear the reticule. In telescope we have crosshair, here we have a circle. So first we need to clear the circle, and then when we see through this, then we have to focus the object. Let's say if we don't see the object, near the area which is seen through this optical plummet, first we need to lift these two legs and bring it to the point where the exact cross is. So if you clearly see, you can see the cross on this peg, right? We have to slowly move it, right? So what you should not do is, don't hold it like this. This is a bad practice. When you are keeping it down, always the point will be changed, right? Therefore, when you are doing this thing, you need to slightly take off these legs from the ground, right? In such a way that they slightly touch the ground, right? So now you see, I slightly taking it to the center, right? Now I have already kept it on the center. You can come and see. Now you have already kept the instrument just above the cross of the peg, and now you need to push down these two legs. Again, you need to put your body weight to the tripod shoe. Now obviously what happens is, when you are pushing these two legs down, the cross point, right, whatever the cross just below this instrument will change. If you look through this optical plummet, you will see that the cross point has changed a little bit because we have pushed these two legs down, right? So what you should not do is, you should not lift the legs back and keep it again at a different place. And what some of you are doing is, you are looking through the optical plummet again and again and try to bring it to the center. It will never happen. So what you should not do is, never look back through this optical plummet once you have pushed these two legs down, right? It is never going to work, right? So then next step is, now you are not going to look through this optical plummet. Your next step is, you need to bring the bubble, this pond bubble, we call it pond bubble or bullseye bubble, to the center. So this is the bullseye bubble, right? So you need to bring it to the center by loosening these tripod tightening screws and extending the legs. Now you see, if you take this bubble, there is a kind of a yellow circle inside this bubble, and the air bubble is by the side of the yellow circle. So we need to bring it to the center. So if we draw an imaginary line between the center of this air bubble and the center of this yellow circle, it is in this direction. So then we need to bring the bubble to this direction. So therefore we need to adjust one of the legs in this line. So if we take this line and see what is the leg belongs to this line. So if you see like that, this leg is the leg which belongs to this imaginary line. So I am going to adjust this leg first. So I am going to lower it down. I am not going to keep my leg again on the tripod shoe. That is another thing that you should not do, right? So first you need to adjust, you need to keep your left hand like this and keep your thumb over the top of this adjusting part of the leg, and slowly you have to loose the butterfly screw and then lower the leg down until the bubble comes to one of these two legs. Right now this bubble has come to this leg, the adjustment has come to this leg, right? So now I will tighten up this one, and now I will going to use this leg for the adjustment. Right, now I am lowering it down. Now the bubble has moved to that leg. Sometimes the bubble might come to the center straight away from one leg, sometimes from the second leg. So this time it has shifted to this leg, the adjustment has shifted to this leg. So I am going to tie up this, tight up, and now I am going to adjust from this one. Very small fine movement is required from this one, so I am giving it, and this one as well. Right, now this air bubble is almost at the center of the yellow circle, but we need to bring it exactly to the center. For that we are going to use this plate bubble. This is called the longitudinal bubble as well. For that we need to use the face lift operation, right? That means the bigger part of the theodolite is at the left side of our face, right? So now first we need to keep this longitudinal bubble parallel to 2 foot screws like this. So these are the 2 foot screws we are going to use. So now I have kept it parallel, almost parallel to the foot screw. Now you see the bubble is at the left side, so we need to move the bubble to the center. For that we are going to use the left thumb rule. What is the left thumb rule? So if your left thumb is moving to particular direction, the bubble will also move in the same direction. But first we need to adjust the theodolite into the face lift operation like this. So the bigger part is at our left side of the face, right? Now I am going to shift the bubble to this direction, so therefore I am going to shift the left thumb, use the left thumb in that direction. And remember, when you are turning these screws, there is a rule: if you are turning it, all should be in inwards or outwards, right? All should turn in inwards or outwards, right? So now my left thumb is moving in this direction, therefore this right thumb also should come in inward direction. But the bubble will move only in the direction of left thumb. Now you see the bubble is slowly moving to the center. Right. Now we have adjusted. Next thing is we need to turn this plate bubble such a way that it is 90 degrees to the selected 2 foot screws, right? So now the bubble is, this is the bubble axis. The bubble axis is 90 degrees to these 2 foot screws, right? So now I am going to do the adjustment. Again I am going to use my left thumb only. Now I am not going to touch any of these 2 foot screws, only this one, right? Only this one. But again I am going to use my left thumb. Now if you carefully see, the bubble is at the right side, right hand side. So I need to bring the bubble to the center. So therefore my left thumb has to move in this direction, like this. But I am not going to use my right hand this time, because there is no screw that I can adjust it. Right. So my left hand should move in this direction according to the left thumb rule. In the same direction the bubble will move and come to the center. Right, now I have done the leveling part. So this is called the leveling part. The leveling of bullseye bubble, and the longitudinal bubble is called the leveling part. once we have adjusted this longitudinal bubble, automatically this bullseye bubble should come to the exact center. Now if you carefully see, now the bullseye bubble is at the exact center. Now we have done the leveling part already. Now the centering, we have to complete the centering. We have done the half of the centering. Now we are going to complete the centering. For that again we need to see where the cross is. Now after doing all this adjustment to the legs and their lengths and doing all this leveling and all this stuff, the center has slightly out from the peg. So we are going to adjust it, not by any of these foot screws, by just loosening this clamping screw, right? So we just loose it little bit, and we are going to shift the entire tri-brac and the instrument over this tripod base, right? That's what we are going to do. That's why I asked you to keep the distance without taking it to extreme end. Then we can adjust it. We have provisions to adjust it, right? So right now I am going to shift it little bit and take it back to the center. Right. Now I tighten it up again. Now we need to check back the longitudinal bubble is exactly at the center. Now we see that they have a little bit changed, so we have to bring them back to the center using left thumb rule. Right. And turn it 90 to the axis of the 2 foot screws. Now this is 90, so I'm going to adjust this. It's exactly at the center, no need to do the adjustment, right? Then again we need to check anything has happened to the center. It is exactly above the cross. Now we have already completed the centering. So now we have done centering and leveling. What is remaining is focusing. So we have to do the focusing using the telescope. For that we have main 2 screws, right? This is called the crosshair focusing screw, and this one, the bigger one, it is called the object focusing screw. First of all, we need to clear this crosshair focusing screw, because it depends upon the eye power or the eyesight of the person, right? So now I am wearing specs, so I have different eye power and different eyesight, so I need to adjust it accordingly my eyesight, right? The best thing is you can keep your palm front of the telescope. If you don't see this clearly, better to use a white paper, right? So what I am doing is I am just keeping my palm just in front of the telescope and adjust this object, adjust this crosshair focusing screw. I am adjusting it now. Now it's clear. The next thing is, whatever the target you have focused, you have to focus it through this object focusing screw. Then you need to ensure whether this focusing is correct. How you are doing that? That is called the removing parallax error. So whatever the image of the crosshairs and the image of the object should be in the same plane. If not, what will happen is when we are moving our eyes side by side like this, we can see the differential movement, or we can see the crosshairs is moving with our eye. But if it has been already focused properly, there should not be a movement in the crosshairs with our eyes. So we can see them as one image without changing with our eyes, right? For that, we need to finally adjust the focusing screw. So first we need to move our eyes side by side and see whether any movement in the crosshairs with our eyesight. If it is so, we need to adjust the focusing screw such a way that there is no such movement in the crosshairs with our movement of the eyes. So that is how we complete the focusing, right? Not only the focusing of crosshairs and not only the focusing of objects, the next thing is the removing parallax error. So that is how we remove the parallax error of the instrument, right? Just moving our head side by side and see whether there is a movement in the crosshairs together with our movement of the eyes, right? Until there is no different movements in the crosshairs, we need to adjust this, right? Slightly adjust it, and we need to move our head side by side and remove that parallax error. So that is how we can complete the focusing option of the theodolite. So now today you learned how to do the centering and how to do the leveling and how to do the focusing of a theodolite. Then I have already uploaded the video how to measure an angle, so you can watch it and see how to measure an angle using the theodolite. So thank you very much for watching this video. Coming up next is centering and leveling of a total station.
Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe this channel and click the bell button for more of the very latest videos.